Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent threatened to punch another member of the Trump administration in the effing face at a MAGA birthday party. And that's according to a new report from Politico. And for those keeping score at home, believe it or not, this is not the first time the mild-mannered man almost resorted to fisticuffs with a colleague in the Trump administration. So this time, Bessent was feuding with Housing Finance Chief Bill Pulte. And Pulte is on the warpath against the Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook, accusing her of committing mortgage fraud. He also stated that he believes Senator Adam Schiff and New York Attorney General Letitia James committed mortgage fraud as well. Now, Pulte, Bessent, and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick have been, tasked with making a plan to privatize Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but reportedly they've disagreed on how to do so. And that disagreement nearly led to a punching match. So Bessent has been advocating against the move behind closed doors. He thinks it's a really bad idea. Meanwhile, Pulte reportedly handed Trump a draft letter announcing Powell's firing. And so Bessent and Howard Lutnick, by the way, do not get along. They've never gotten along, but Lutnick and Pulte are quite close. So last but not least, Bessent apparently believes that Pulte has been talking trash about him to President Donald Trump, and we can't let that happen, right? So he approaches him and is like, "What's up? You talking trash?" No, he didn't do that, but the tension between the two officials, well, kind of, yeah. It came to a head just this past weekend, according to reporting in Politico. The kerfuffle took place at a birthday party for Chamath, who's got a last name I'm not going to try to pronounce. That guy, a Trump donor and the co-host of the All In podcast. Now, the party was located at the Executive Branch, which is a swanky new DC club created by and for Trump family and their powerful associates. Ooh. Yeah, good to hear. Now, while Politico sources disagreed on whether Bessent or Pulte was the one to initiate this verbal altercation, they don't disagree about what happened next. So Bessent told Pulte, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, by the way, but
Pulte, I don't know.
Pulte, yeah. What the F are you talking to the president about me? F you, I'm going to punch you in your effing face. Can you imagine Scott Bessent talking like that?
Apparently I can. Okay.
He's so sleepy looking all the time.
Yeah, so but remember guys, so Bessent comes from the finance world and hence the corporate world. Mm-hmm. And this type of stuff is corporate politics 101. So this is the skull and dagger stuff that happens behind the scenes that the press never reports on, right? So you went over my head to talk to my boss. Mm-hmm. That's like the biggest violation of the unwritten rules, especially for executives. Going above someone's head is like massive corporate crime.
Oh, they don't like that.
They don't like that. And Pulte is Trump's hatchet man. So he's going around pulling, and there was a separate story about how he's only pulling Democratic files and looking to see if there's mortgage fraud, or not even fraud. Hey, they have two different houses. Mm-hmm. So if they have two different houses, they might violate this particular law. And is he pulling Republican files? No, because he's a hatchet man. So when Bessent gets a hold of the hatchet man talking dirty about him to Trump, he's like, whoa, I'm the Treasury Secretary. You're a low-level housing hatchet dude, okay? Yeah. And so what are you doing? So he gets aggressive. They don't get because on TV, all the corporate guys are very and they got their tie and then they get off there like, you better not mess with my job, okay? I'll kneecap you, I'll kill you, I'll bury you, right? That's kind of, they just keep all that stuff hidden from you.
Well, not Howard Lutnick. I mean, I've seen enough Howard Lutnick interviews to see that he doesn't really conceal what his personality is like. Scott Bessent, though, again, very mild-mannered, very monotone in his delivery on these interviews. But apparently the club's co-owner had to intervene, and Bessent said, "It's either me or him. You tell me who's getting the F out of here." All right.
Yeah, I could psychoanalyze Bessent, but I won't go in that direction. But I think that there's a reason why he's doing this, and so flagrantly.
Okay.
But I'll tell you that after you give us the story.
Or, Bessent added, we could go outside. I'm sorry, it's just too funny. We could go outside. To do what? Asked Pulte. To talk? No, Bessent replied. I'm going to effing beat your ass. Like, all right, okay. Like Bessent, I mean, again, I'm very surprised by this. As we mentioned earlier, this isn't the first time that Bessent has blown up on another member of the administration or someone in the orbit of the administration. So back in April, Elon Musk and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent were feuding over who would get to pick the leader of the IRS. And that led to a fight in the West Wing in which Bessent reportedly yelled the following at Musk, quote, F you, F you, F you. He's a man of many words. Musk accused Bessent of having run 2 failed hedge funds. Quote, I can't hear you. He told Bessent as they argued, their faces just inches apart. Say it louder. A month later, when Musk showed up at the White House event with a black eye, enough rumors circulated that Bessent had to deny that he was the culprit. Amazing.
Okay, so corporate politics and him being used to this kind of stuff is one part of the potential explanation. And we're guessing here, of course, as to his motives, right? But another guess I have is that he's smart. He's a guy who is very successful in finance. And by the way, did used to work with George Soros. Interesting. And they mentioned in the article, but he's gotten past that in Republican circles. So I think that he accurately assessed Trump hates weakness. That the correct strategy with Trump is do not cower, out alpha him. The only time that Trump ever does this is when either Putin or Netanyahu out alphas him.
It's so sad,
right? Because he's a visceral guy. He's not a very, like Trump, is not a very strategic or brilliant guy. He's just like, is that alpha larger than me? Weaker than me, pounds, right? So if Bessent went around with Elon Musk or Pulte or Poundy or whatever he is, and was like soft or weak, he would lose leverage. But when he comes out so aggressive, F you, I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna beat your ass.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, right. See, let's go outside. Let's
go
outside.
Fisticuffs, I'll tell you that, mister. Okay, so then Trump's like, oh, badass. Okay, then I'm going with Bessent. So I don't know what you think of my theory, but that's part of my theory.
No, your theory is probably right. I mean, I just don't think that kind of behavior is in Bessent's nature. That's not to say that Bessent's a good guy. It's just, even really bad guys can be mild-mannered and just like, scheming, plotting quietly, calmly. I see him as more of that type of guy. So when he acts out like this and kind of tries to exert dominance, tries to position himself as an alpha, it's definitely done for Donald Trump's approval.
Yeah, because he's doing it so publicly.
Yeah, right? A swanky new club
and
in
all
DC.
Those Trump guys leak like a sieve, and he knows that,
yeah.
Right? So if he does it in front of a whole group of Trump guys, it's gonna get into the press, and then Trump's gonna read it and go, oh, attaboy, Bessent. Okay, hey, Pulte, what's going on? Did you get your ass beat? Ass beat Pulte. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's totally possible. And remember, the last time he did it, he won and Musk lost.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
But everyone hated Musk in the administration.
It's even possible that Bessent being more, I don't know if he's a Democrat originally. I don't know. No, but he worked with Soros, so I have no idea, right? But he might be more unfamiliar in these circles and thinking, oh, in this climate, in this context and environment, what we need to do is assert dominance. Okay, and then there's like a note taker assistant. Okay, assert dominance. How do we do that? We use the F word a lot.
Yeah,
we raise our voice.
Punch in face.
We threaten to what, shall we say, beat up? No, that sounds a little soft. Beat his ass. Not bad, not bad. Let's go with that.
Demand to go outside.
Yes, what would we do outside? By the way, some guy once threatened, he's like, oh, you wanna go outside? I was like, wow, you wanna give me a handy?
That's a really good way to lower the temperature.
It did not lower the temperature.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're right.
Hey, different strokes, different for different folks. Okay, but I think that so my guess, and I'm just guessing, is that Bessent's going over the top for theatrics because he's trying to appeal to the audience of one that they all care about, and that's Donald Trump. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.